Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I'm standing by. Uh, Yes, you know, the trajectory of the electoral process demands that the moment we are done with elections at the polling unit level, those elections, the results, that is the Form EC8A, together with the accreditation data, will be uploaded into our INEC Result Viewing portal. That same result will also be transferred, the manual result will also be transferred from the polling unit together with the beavers to the first level of collation, which is the registration area collation center. In most of the states of the Federation, that process has been completed. Then from the registration area collation center, it moves to the local government collation center. In a number of the states of the Federation, that collation has been completed, and some of them are at the level of the state collation center as at now. I think the chairman has an assurance that there's a possibility that by the time we reconvene at 6 p.m. today, that we will at least have one state of the Federation that has completed the process of collation at the state level. So the state collation officer for the presidential election, together with the resident electoral commissioner for that particular state, we come to the National Collation Center here and present the results, the state results relating to the presidential election to the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, who is the chief electoral commissioner for the Federation and the returning officer for the presidential election. So that is the process that we commence at 6 p.m. But the chairman at 1 p.m. today declared the National Collation Center open. What that means is that the National Collation Center is now ready to receive results of the presidential election from all the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. So that is where we are as at now. Well, I cannot, in good conscience, tell you what the problem is. But all I know is that as at yesterday, I went to the INEC Result Viewing portal, and the results were coming in. And at this morning, I also checked the INEC Result Viewing portal, and the results were coming in. But I have received reports and information that there are a few people, some people are finding it very difficult to log in, and that some people have also complained that some of the results were coming in and going out. So I don't know what the technical issues are. I don't know what the technical details are. But the moment I get back to our situation room, I will ask the IT people and those who are in charge of the portal whether we have challenges. And if we have challenges, I want to find out the nature of those challenges and what they have done in relation to remedying those challenges. So I'm slightly deficient when it comes to the issue of technology. So I'm going to go and ask the experts so that I will have a good information relating to what is going on, and so that I can pass that information to the public. There are concerns relating to some of the challenges we had mobilizing to the polling units in some parts of the country. Generally speaking, in most parts of the country, we did deploy and we did deploy on time. But there were a few states where we had some challenges. There are some states where some of the transporters we engaged in terms of the drivers backed out at the last moment on grounds of security challenges, and some of them even backed out on grounds that we needed to pay them more for them to go to places that have security challenges. There were also some places where we had significant challenges getting core members to mobilize to certain areas, and also getting our APO 1, 2, and 3 to go to certain areas. But there were also a few places where we couldn't mobilize on time out of our own making. So we are not offering excuses in relation to some of these issues. If there are lessons to be learned, we have learned valuable lessons from this election, and we still have elections in front of us. So what the Commission will do is to quickly review what has happened during this presidential election, especially in the areas where we have logistic challenges, and then overcome the challenges, and then move on with the electoral process, because we want Nigerians to remain engaged with this process. We want Nigerians to have trust in the ability of the Independent National Electoral Commission to conduct free, fair, transparent, and verifiable election. So we are not leaving anything to chance. We know that there were challenges. We acknowledge those challenges. Some of those challenges were due to infrastructural issues in the country. Some of them were due to security challenges. Some of them were due to geographical challenges in terms of terrain, and some of them were also due to our own failings and our own making. We are taking all of them on board, and we are going to recalibrate and then retool our processes and overcome all these challenges and problems. No, we are really not surprised, because the beavers is the ultimate game changer, is the ultimate arbiter, and also is the nightmare of election riggers. So since carrying of ballot boxes and ballot papers are no longer fashionable, since they have no electoral value anymore, people are now targeting the beavers, which is the game changer. And since they are targeting the beavers, we keep on improving on the technology of the beavers, so that the moment you move the beavers from one location to the other, it is automatically demobilized, and it becomes useless to you, even if you snatch it. So we are doing something about the beavers. But I believe that ultimately, we must begin to name and shame those who do not believe in the electoral process. We must begin to develop and cultivate the democratic spirit that allows us to allow the rule of law and due process to prevail. That is the only way our electoral process will develop, and that is the only way we can continue to sustain our democracy. We cannot sustain our democracy through fraud. We cannot sustain our democracy when those who are supposed to believe in the rule of law and have fidelity of the rule of law violate the intent of the law, violate the intent of the Constitution, and also use extrajudicial and extra-constitutional means to get to power. That cannot advance our democracy, and that cannot advance our electoral process. I just want to plead to Nigerians, to our compatriots, to exercise patience and exercise caution and be circumspect in posting election results, in order not to inflame passion, and also in order not to give Nigerians a wrong impression that results have come in. If you look at Section 25 of the Electoral Act, it is the Independent National Electoral Commission is the only commission that has the ultimate right, the power, and the responsibility of making a declaration and also making a return. And I also want to say that it is against the law and an electoral infraction for anybody to post any result that is not right, that is not accurate, or that is fake. So let us be circumspect in terms of what we are doing, in order not to inflame passion, and also in order not to create the condition for a breakdown of law and order when the commission ultimately declares the authentic results in relation to various levels of election. We don't cancel results arbitrarily. At the level of the polling unit, if there's an overvoting at a polling unit, it is the responsibility of the presiding officer to cancel such a result. If a presiding officer has been prevented from deploying, that presiding officer is supposed to fill a certain form, which the presiding officer takes to the first level of collation and hands over to the registration area collation officer, and then it goes on and on. And so our electoral process is based on procedure, is based on process. And if you also look at section 65 of the Electoral Act, if, for instance, a declaration and a return has been made under duress or not made in accordance with the law and the regulations and guidelines of the commission has been given a period of 7 days to review that declaration, review that particular return, and take a decision. And so various things we do and decisions we take and actions we take are based on the Constitution and also based on the law. I will rather allow Nigerians to rate our performance, but I believe that within the context of the trajectory of the Nigerian Federation, we have done very well in terms of making sure that this election is not postponed, and also in terms of making sure that our election materials get to site and get to location on time. Yes, we acknowledge that there were challenges in a few states of the Federation, but on the whole, this commission has done well, and we are still going to continue to learn valuable lessons in order to proceed with the electoral process and continue to give Nigerians a very good voting experience. Thank you so much.